The movie starts with Lisa recording her young daughter, Julie, as she's prepared for her first day at school. Julie is not looking happy until two other girls, Kayla and Sam, approach her to then instantly become friends. As she's recording, Kayla's father, Mitchell, and Sam's father, Hunter, are with Lisa, and they also talk to her about how their kids were now friends and they'd have to be friends too. Mitchell gets emotional as the kids walk away, and Lisa has to console him. Years later, the girls are now in high school and preparing for prom night. Lisa and Julie wake up to do things together before they eventually talk about Julie's plans for prom and also for college, with Lisa looking worried when Julie mentions college. Elsewhere, Mitchell complains to his wife about what Kayla has to wear, and as they talk about how Mitchell has to loosen his grip on her, he later goes over to Kayla's room, where he sees her and accuses her of smoking, having seen a small wrap on the floor. Kayla says she only tried it and it was only for experience. Even though he's not happy with her reason, she manages to convince him and he can't help but tell her that she's smart. Later that day, Kayla meets with her best friends, Julie and Sam, both of whom are also excited about prom night. When they get to school, Julie kisses her boyfriend, Austin, and they also talk about their plans to spend time together for prom. During lunch break, Julie tells her friends that she's finally going to let Austin clap her cheeks. Kayla is happy for her, and she says she'll be doing the same with a guy named Connor, who is her lab partner. Sam is surprised by her choice since she hadn't even hooked up with him before, and even though Julie talks about making the first time special, Kayla says she's still going through with it. As they see that Sam is feeling left out, Kayla and Julie try to tone down their excitement, but Sam says it's fine and she just doesn't think she has gotten to that point with her boyfriend, Chad. Just then, she sees a girl named Angelica come into the room, and can't help but stare until her friends bring her back to their conversation, where she says she'll see if anything can happen between her and Chad. After that day at school, Julie goes home to see her letter of acceptance into UCLA. However, when she enters and paints a scenario about going to UCLA with Austin, Lisa says it's too far and she'd be better suited for the University of Chicago, so she'd be able to come home frequently since it wasn't as far as UCLA. With this, Julie has to keep the letter to herself. Elsewhere at Sam's house, her mom, Brenda, and stepdad, Frank, are excited to see her dress, and even though Sam is not as excited as them, Frank gives her advice to do things that would keep her bond with her friends really tight. Later on, everyone is at Lisa's house for the celebration before prom night, and Julie continues to receive texts from her friends while her chat is also connected to the laptop that she forgets to close before leaving. When she gets out, she sees her friends and they take pictures together. Not long after, Kayla gives Julie something to make her experience with Austin even better. And as they get excited again, Sam says she wants in on the pact so that all three of them can do it at the same time. Kayla says Sam doesn't have to do it, but Sam has her mind made up. Just then, Hunter breezes in with a limo. And when he gets there, Sam goes to meet him and ask what he's doing there. Hunter says he'd never miss her biggest night, and he was there to make it special and make it up to her for not always being around. Sam is not happy and just tells him to be normal around the other parents. Lisa and Mitchell see him headed for them and start talking about how they've not spoken to him since he and Brenda separated. He reaches them and makes jokes about how they raised their kids, and while he's at it, Mitchell sees Kayla talking to Connor and he can't help but go closer. When he gets to where they're standing, Connor introduces himself but doesn't receive a nice reception from Mitchell, who tries to give Kayla a knife to protect herself if Connor wanted to do anything to her. Kayla plays down anything happening and Connor also walks away. Meanwhile, Hunter also meets with Brenda and Frank, and just as they start talking, he gets into an argument with Brenda, with Frank then trying to calm things. Inside the house, Lisa is arranging some of Julie's things when she sees her letter from UCLA. However, when she gets down to request to have a conversation with Julie, the kids are already hopping into the limo. Julie says she's got to go and Lisa hugs her before telling Julie to call her when she's at the after party at Austin's house. When everyone has left the house, Lisa sits at the table as she looks at Julie's acceptance letter again. Suddenly, Mitchell meets her there after helping clean up the house, and as he sees that she's not in a good mood, he tries to comfort her, also saying he had to get his mind off Kayla and Connor. Soon after, they start hearing loud rings of Julie's chat on her laptop. Thinking something might be wrong, they go up to check only to see that the girls are sending a lot of emoji. Just then, Hunter comes out of the bathroom, with Lisa and Mitchell looking surprised that he's still around. Meanwhile, Hunter realizes the reason why they're in Julie's room, and as he tells them about how it's not cool, Lisa and Mitchell still continue looking at it to decode the meaning of the emojis. With the help of Hunter, they eventually figure out that the girls were planning to lose their virginity that night. Immediately, Lisa and Mitchell try to call their daughters, and just as it doesn't go through, Lisa complains about how Julie used to tell her things and now suddenly, things have changed. Mitchell also laments as to how he's been preparing Kayla for success only for her to be planning to do something different. With this, Lisa suggests that they go look for their daughters, and Mitchell agrees. Hunter tries to stop them as he doesn't want his daughter's night ruined, but they pass him, and after struggling to enter the car, he eventually joins them. On their way to meet their children, Hunter tells Lisa and Mitchell that he's not really worried because he knows that Sam is gay even without having to tell him, and he's sure that she won't do anything with Chad. At the party, the girls dance together and soon have to go separate ways with their dates, though Sam meets with Angelica and compliments her dress, with Angelica appreciating it and saying she came alone because her girlfriend broke up with her because she's still confused about their relationship. When Sam asks how to not be confused, Angelica tells Sam about how she found out she didn't like boys and says the signs will always be there before leaving Sam. Elsewhere, Kayla is about to drink a gin made by Connor when she tells him she plans to sleep with him later that night. Connor doesn't disagree and appreciates her for telling him. Soon after, Lisa, Mitchell, and Hunter arrive at the party and start looking for their kids. However, it's just around the same time that their kids decide to leave, though Sam has to look for Chad first. When they enter, Hunter sees the kids leave, but he doesn't tell the others anything. They then go on to look for their kids without any luck, though Hunter sees as Sam kisses Chad and looks disgusted afterward. As he tries to meet her, he bumps into one of the students and Sam meets with the others to leave. After searching without any luck, Lisa suggests that they go to Austin's house for the after party since their kids could be there. Just as they're about to leave, Hunter laments and blames Kayla and Julie for shaming his daughter and forcing her to hook up with the wrong partner. Lisa and Mitchell are not pleased with this, and Lisa particularly lashes out at him before they then go to Austin's house. When they get there, no one answers the door, but they see Austin's parents spending quality time together despite thinking it was Julie and Austin at first. While others try not to look, Mitchell can't take his eyes off and Austin's dad sees him. He then meets them on the outside and asks what they're doing there. They tell him they just want to check on their kids, and Austin's dad says they're at a lake house and his son has been texting him about everything going down at the party. Since they don't know where the lake house is and Marcy has worked there before, they head over to Mitchell's house to find the address. While they're at it, Marcy sees them and questions why they didn't want the kids to make decisions by themselves. Despite this, they manage to distract Marcy and get the address. From there, they leave for the lake house, but when they get there, some kids stop them from going in until one of them does a challenge by sticking something into their butt, with Mitchell agreeing to do it. Meanwhile, the kids are now with their dates, and Kayla tastes another of Connor's inventions. Soon after, they head to the room together. Julie and Austin also meet up in a room as they prepare for action. Sam also stays with Chad but can't bring herself to do anything yet. Just then, Mitchell takes on the challenge, and as he starts, Kayla sees him through the window and thinks she's high. A while later, cop sirens are heard and they all have to leave the house, with their parents seeing them as they get into the limo before choosing to follow them. While driving, the limo driver, Rudy, sees that he's been followed and thinks someone is trying to outrun him, so he just keeps driving very fast. This causes the kids to start throwing up, and Sam also has to come out through the roof to vomit, and this splashes all over Lisa's car, derailing them from the road and allowing them to crash. They make it out safe, and Lisa finally receives a call from Julie, who has now changed her clothes and is at a supermarket with the others. Lisa says she's been following Julie all night, and she knows of her pact with the girls and also how she knows Julie wants to go to UCLA to be with Austin. Julie gets angry and lashes out at her mom for being too scared to lose her and that she actually picked UCLA because it's the farthest from home. Julie ends the call and Lisa tells the others what Julie said and how she now thinks she'd die alone. Mitchell comforts her and says things would be fine and they could always be there for each other. Hunter then also mentions that they've never been there for him and they left him alone after his Brenda situation, saying Brenda cheated on him first and also beat him up and that's why he left, but no one cared to ask. Just then, Lisa and Mitchell get an idea to go back to Austin's house to check where the kids are through Austin's dad's phone. When they get there, Austin's parents are role-playing again, but Mitchell and the others are able to get the phone, though it's not as easy as they expected. They then see that the kids are at a hotel and Lisa also finds out that Austin had still not done anything with Julie. At the hotel, Sam and Chad head to a room together, and elsewhere, Kayla finds out from Austin that Julie is no longer happy and in the mood, so she offers to help, asking for their room key. Lisa, Mitchell, and Hunter also finally arrive at the hotel, and as they go separate ways to look for their kids, Lisa sees Kayla come out of the room and goes in. When she enters and sees the decorations, Lisa realizes that she shouldn't be ruining Julie's special night. Just as she's about to leave, Julie and Austin come in and Lisa has to hide under the bed. She witnesses as Julie and Austin talk about how much they're in love. She also witnesses how they get ready for their special night. Lisa then leaves the room smartly to avoid being seen by Julie and Austin. Meanwhile, Kayla tells Connor she's not ready and she wants her first time to be special and she would be interested when they know each other better. Connor agrees and Kayla says even though he won't clap her cheeks, she'd want another form of pleasure. While they're at it, Mitchell barges in and throws Connor against the wall. Kayla eventually gets him to be calm, and when Connor leaves the room unhurt, she tells Mitchell that she loves him and he has raised her to make the right decisions and he doesn't have to always follow her around. He gets emotional as she talks and he appreciates her and tells her he loves her too. Elsewhere, Sam is about to get down with Chad but can't bring herself to do it, and Chad also says he's not prepared to. Chad leaves the room, and Hunter sees him and immediately goes into the room to see Sam. When he gets there, he sees Sam and apologizes for not always being there for her, and he only followed her because he didn't want her to do something she didn't like. She accepts his apology and tells him that she's a lesbian. He gets emotional when she says he's the first person she's telling, and he then tells her to not be scared of who she is, and that he's also sure that her friends would like her just like that. Father and daughter then share a warm embrace. Lisa, Mitchell, and Hunter finally meet at the bar and talk about what happened and how they should have let the girls be. They also then have drinks together. Meanwhile, the girls also meet up and discuss how their night went, with Julie being the only one who went through with it. Later when they're dancing, Sam also tells the girls that she's a lesbian and they tell her that they love her regardless. Angelica then comes over and they leave Sam with her. Just as they leave, Angelica and Sam kiss, after which they all dance at the party. 3 months later, Lisa, Hunter, and Mitchell watch as the girls head to college together, and after they leave, Lisa starts getting texts from a group chat Julie created for her friends. As she sees a lot of racy texts about things the girls want to do now that they're no longer with their parents. Lisa and the others are worried, though the girls eventually tell Lisa that it's a prank, with Hunter trying to act like he didn't fall for it. Later on, Mitchell and Marcy are role-playing around the house like Austin's parents when Kayla suddenly comes in and screams as she sees them. And that is how it ended.